What's up, college football fans and Mean Green fans? Noe Valencia here once again with the Mean Green Show today, joined by JD as well as Miles, and we're going to just kind of catch up. It's been a little while since it happens, but the hiring of Coach Morris and where things are heading right now for North Texas and this football program. But before we get into all of that, guys, you already know the drill. If you're a fan of college football, G5 football, consider hitting that like and subscribe button because that is truly all that we talk about. All right, well, before we get into Coach Eric Morris and what he's got going on. I mean, Matthew Bruni, when he ate that chip, man, that was pretty, that was pretty scary. I can't believe he did that. But yeah, there's no way I think any of us could handle that.
I've actually got one in my house because I've got to do a fantasy football payout probably today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to do it. I've got the chip and everything, but I'm just pushing it off as long as I can.
Yeah, I can't believe he did that. You got to film yourself doing it, man. Like that was wild. But maybe Caleb Howe's the one who dodged the bullet with their little charity boxing match. But anyway, so we saw, it's been. When did Coach Morris get hired? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Monday. Okay.
Was it Monday? I swear it was Monday. It had to be. That was like the slowest day of the week this week.
I think it was Tuesday. I don't know. Monday or I don't know. We'll have to ask him. But it just seems from the outside looking in, since he's got hired, it doesn't seem like he's sleeping too much. And it seems like he is just going. One of the biggest things for me that really I was pretty happy about the hire. I mean, we all hear these names through the grapevine, but when it turned out to be Coach Morris and, the resume that he brings, I was personally pretty excited, but to see him coming in and doing these in-home visits and then securing our already committed Marcus Moore, that really just spoke volumes to me personally. The fact that he's in there, he's whatever he's saying, and this is an offensive guy talking to a defensive guy. Keep that in mind, right?
Without any staff.
He's doing this all, on his lonesome. So the guy seems to really have a hunger, and he says a lot of good things. So we'll see. I don't know if you're going to make it to that thing this Friday, which as we're filming, this is Friday, Miles, or tomorrow, or the Tuesday. I know they're having he's having his first press conference Tuesday. So anyway, we'll see. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens. But anyway, JD, passing it to you. What are your thoughts on the hire thus far and the moves that Coach Morris is making? And what do you expect to see here in the next week or two, whether that be staff additions or portal or high school kids?
Yeah, at first I was a little, I guess, kind of not caught off guard, but I mean, it was a name that we talked about at the beginning, and then we kind of heard they were down to 2 or 3 finalists, and Eric's name wasn't brought up. So at first it kind of caught me as a shock. I think the part about it is if him leaving Incarnate Word, moving to Washington State, he was kind of out of sight, out of mind. Because we talked about, I mean, when he was in Incarnate Word, I mean, I remember his name being brought up on the board frequently. Like, if Seth leaves, this is a guy we want. This is a guy we want. I mean, then, he goes to Washington State and didn't really think any more about it. But the guy's hit the ground running. I mean, he is. And talking to a high school coach today who was actually, he came and visited. The thing about it is, when you're at a school like Incarnate Word, FCS school, you don't have the resources. You have to work twice as hard. You have to recruit twice as many kids. And you're doing it a lot of your own pocket. And I think he's still got that chip on his shoulder still. I mean, if he brings that mentality
Is that Coach Morris?
Yes. No, I guess. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, the guy, to me, it doesn't seem like he slept. He's been doing home visits. He's meeting with players on the team. He's meeting with donors. He's visited multiple high schools this week, and today he's at the state championship game. So, yeah, it's impressive. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I saw that I listened to his Sirius XM. I'm pretty sure that was his little radio interview that he had. He was saying how he had like 200 messages and all these things. He hadn't had time because he's focused on North Texas, and that's finally something that we haven't seen. It feels like from recruiting standpoint from the staff in a while. I think the last time we saw an in-home visit from our staff was that Coy Eakin, or however you say his name.
Oh yeah,
the one from Stephenville where Trail rode the bull. That was, I think, the last time that We saw an in-person visit from the staff. So they're taking initiative, or not they. He is taking initiative because he's the only guy on the staff, which I find, again, like he's doing things that I didn't think he would be doing this early. Or, I mean, he had to, but I didn't think he'd be able to secure the Marcus Moore and guys like that. It's really impressive. And I think, like JD said, it wasn't a guy that I was expecting to happen, but I think this is, if you look at all the candidates combined, I feel like this is a better option than what North Texas could have gone with, and all the other rumors that were brought up from Barnett and all those other guys. But I'm really excited. It seems he's going to bring in a good staff. This is going to be a better time, and I think he's going to be at the bowl game tailgate tomorrow, and so I'm going to try to meet him tomorrow. I'll see him around, and he's already been really active with a lot of the players and the assistants, and even like the creative guys I've heard. So it looks like he's willing to be more invested. Will he be more invested in NIL, the transfer portal? We'll see, but I think this is a very more exciting time, because me and JD talked about this, and you did too, Snow, on the Twitter space. But I'm very excited. This is a big step in the right direction for this program, in my opinion, going to the American.
And I don't want to set the bar too high, but
yeah,
to me, he reminds me of a younger PJ Fleck, like just a guy that's just full of energy. I mean, if he can have just a fraction of success PJ Fleck has, I mean, North Texas hit a home run. But he started off great. I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better first week. And I know people are asking, like, when's he doing this? When's he doing this? I mean, I don't know if there's enough hours in the day to do what he's done so far. So I'm already pretty impressed. I think, middle of next week we'll know more, but as of right now, he's hitting the ground running.
Yeah, and for the the pregame presser for the Frisco Bowl, Coach Bennett was obviously interim head coach and spoke a little bit about Coach Morris and had a lot of good things to say about him. So obviously Coach Bennett has been in the game for a long time, so it could be coach speak, but nevertheless, it's good to hear him say some good things about the new head coach. And real quick, passing this to you, JD, and then Miles, if you have anything to add on to what JD says, feel free. But just out of curiosity, from your guys' perspective, why is it that you think we haven't seen this mass entrance into the portal from a lot of our guys? And realistically speaking, you would think that some of them are still going to test it after the bowl game, and if they do, they do. You can't blame them. That's the landscape of today's college football. I hope a lot of them stay selfishly as a fan, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. But nevertheless, I'm surprised they haven't yet. And JD, I just wanted to pass that to you if you have any insight or speculations or opinions on why we haven't seen a mass interest as of current.
I mean, we can talk, bad or say, what we wish Seth would have done this or done that. But I mean, he did build a culture here. And I think that's we're seeing kind of the benefits of that. I mean, these guys had a mission to win a championship. They lost the first chance at the conference championship. And I think a lot of guys wanted to stick around and win the bowl. And with so many people in the portal, I mean, I don't think that they're really missing out on any offers. I still think that, I mean, I've heard some names today that are going to jump in the portal, tomorrow and the next day. And I don't think, from what I've got, it's not because they don't like Eric Morris. It's not because they don't want to be in North Texas, but it's just the day and age we're in. I mean, they're going to test the waters. And I mean, what I recommend is North Texas fans, if somebody jumps in, don't, talk bad about them, down them, because the portal, I mean, it works both ways. And we've seen with Katie Davis last year, he jumped in, tested the water, and now he's an All-American at North Texas still. So, I mean, just because they jump in doesn't mean they're gone. I mean, I don't blame some kids for testing, especially the kids that's been here 3 or 4 years. I mean, if they've got their degrees but I do think that, like I said, I think it's the culture. I think it's a lot of guys are wanting to stick around for the bowl game, but I think we will see some jump in the next few days.
Yeah, I mean, you basically said everything I was going to say. Except I think some of the guys, I mean, they committed under Luttrell. They believed in Luttrell, and they saw him get fired. So I guess you could say randomly to them. I think that might be a bad factor, but Coach Bennett and that whole staff did a really good job. And I hope, I know staff is not entering the portal, but I hope we can keep some of the other guys on the staff, especially guys like Cobbs, and we lost Clements to North Carolina. That was a tough loss, but that was expected, and so was Bloche. But these. I don't want to sound rude, but a lot of these guys are probably in the portal. they're not going to see much experience. And we saw guys like Brandon Oldham last year who transferred from North Texas to Tarleton State and did really good there. There's going to be guys that can go down to the lower level and still be really competitive, but it's not going to be that big of a hit for North Texas, in all honesty. Unless because KD's gone, Mosey's gone, so a lot of the bigger important guys I doubt will enter the portal.
And I mean, there's not a lot of seniors leaving, so I mean, if a couple guys jump in the portal, it's going to help. Especially some of the guys that don't play or not playing or not going to see playing time. It gives an extra spot or two for Eric and whoever the new staff comes in to bring in some of their guys as well. So it's not the end of the world. I mean, I don't think we're going to see nothing like Texas A&M where 23, 25 kids jump in. I don't see that happening, but I could be surprised. But
I will say La Tech has I think 19 in the portal, 20 with Smoke Harris. I don't know how they're going to feel about the team next year. That's a really tough rebuild there in Ruston.
Yeah,
that's tough. Well, all right, guys. Anything else we need to touch on before we hop off?
I think Coach Morris has had about 2,000 extra followers since he first got here. He's climbing. He's doing his part on social media, I guess you could say that if you want to bring up social
That's important
media
in today's college football. Yeah, that's great to see. JD, anything else?
No, I think that I think Morris's main focus is trying to retain some of the commits currently. I think Wednesday there won't be a ton of excitement, but I think the staff middle of the week next week we'll start hearing some names pop up. Once bowl season's over with, I think that will be filled out, and then I think we're in the last few years. The later signing day has been kind of boring. I mean, it's been one or two guys. I think I look forward to North Texas having a pretty exciting February signing day.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be. All right, guys. Well, go Mean Green, and thank you for jumping on.
Go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green.